Hey, it's Terry. Woo, I'm washed out. I'm gonna try to give a quick wet distress to this sort of like a nightstand side table thing that I've been working on here, and I planned on doing that with baby wipes, and I can't find my baby wipes this morning. Boy, that's bright. Let's see if I can turn it down a little bit. I'm standing pretty close. There you go. Just the way that things worked out today. So what I did was cut a washcloth into quarters. Here's the rest of it. And I've got my bucket of water that I usually use for my paintbrushes. And I've got my mister bottle. And I'm dampening my washcloth now. And I just have no idea what to do. I don't know whether I should mist it a little. I don't know whether I should just use the damp cloth. I've stuck that in my water and now and wring it out pretty good. And if you'll remember, I put a coat of Dixie Belle aubergine on here, and then here and there I used their vintage duck egg, which is like a blue color, and I used some plum here in the middle. And what else did I use? I used their amethyst on a couple of the edges. So I guess the best thing I can do is give it a wipe with just the rag and see how that's doing. I'm so worried because I'm pretty heavy-handed. I'm worried that I'm gonna rub off the whole dang thing and be back to the original finish, and I don't want to do that, but don't look like that's happening. So plan B, let's mist it. I'm misting all the way down. Man, that's coming out with some water today. So that's going to soften it up a little bit. And this looks thinner through here. So I'm going to do, now that's been misted, I'm going to try to wipe gently and see if I can bring back any of that vintage duck egg. And it looks like a little bit's coming here at the top. So I may have to be rubbing harder than I expected on here, because I'm giving it a pretty good whack right now. This has been dried. I was off yesterday and I painted this 2 days ago, so it's been about 48 hours. So that's beginning to wonder if somebody snuck in here overnight and put a top coat on it, because I really thought it would be just like accidentally wipe off way too much. There's a little bit of the aubergine coming off on my rag, but not a whole lot. So now I'm working it as I would if it was sandpaper. I'm going to miss the center of this drawer. I'm in a bit of a hurry today. My little granddaughter Jessalyn doesn't feel good today, nor does my daughter Candy, and they wanted me to bring them a bottle of sports water from work on the way home, and that's all I have on my mind right now, is kind of wanting to hurry up and go see how they're feeling. My plan B on this will be to come and try to wet distress some more. I'm not going to give up on anything, but if that doesn't work, I'll come back and try to do as I used to do with paints that had hardeners and things already in them. I would come back and glaze over it with my other colors, and that will be my plan B on these if that doesn't if this doesn't work. I know some of the aubergine is coming off, but not as fast as I thought. I'm rubbing almost as hard. I was afraid if I barely touched it with water, it was going to take off some of the finish, but I'm actually rubbing as hard as I would if this was sandpaper. And I can barely see some of the plum shining through. So my estimation of how much effort it would take to do the wet distressing and how strong of a hand that I would use to do that were absolutely wrong. So I am learning something today. I do see a little bit of the vintage duck egg coming out on the edges. See if I can turn it away a little bit. And I do see some of the plum here in the middle, but it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Maybe I need to dampen it a little more and a little longer. So I'm really flushing out this bottom drawer while I work on this top one a little bit more. I'm going to grab a piece of sandpaper. My impatience is showing through right now. But I'm also wondering at this moment, I'll just paint over this if I need to later, but what I'm also wondering at this moment is, since I have this dampened down in advance, if I'm sanding with the regular sandpaper, is it going to make less dust in this room? Because a lot of people worry about sanding inside, and I'm actually inside a business. I'm in the classroom area at the Artisan Market at Get Healthy in DeRidder, Louisiana, and we don't want dust all over everything out there. A lot of artisans have a lot of beautiful things out there for sale, so we want to be respectful to that and not put dust everywhere. But I also don't want to have softened the paint so much and then try this and have it damage the finish. And this is just one that would go on my sanding wheel machine thing. I want to see what's going to happen. Well, there you go. I went all the way through to the white. But some of the plum is showing through there in the center as well. So I'm going to leave that alone. This has been soaking a couple of minutes here. Let's compare that. Let's see about rubbing it off if it's going to be any faster. Like I said, I can see a little bit of the plum coming through, but that's not what I thought it would be like. You could see, I think, a little bit of the plum here, but I'm distressed about that now, even though I will touch it up. I'm going to sand a little more because I got to redo this one anyway. May as well see if I was using a sanding block rather than this folded piece of sandpaper, that may make a difference here too. But I'm not sanding all the way through. I'm sanding until I can see some of my plum. So I'm sort of loosening it up with the sandpaper, and no, it's making no dust at all, but here in several places it's speckled through to the white. And I don't know if that bothers me or not. We shall see when I come back to it on Monday. Actually may kind of like it. I'm actually wondering if I could go sand real hard in that area now and go all the way through the white down to the wood that's under it to begin with. That actually looks kind of cute. And I don't have any of my supplies in here with me today, so, ooh, there you go. So there I was getting heavy-handed like I had worried about to begin with, and I pulled another piece of the paint off there. So this may be another one of those what not to do. If you thought about trying this, here's what'll happen if you do videos. And I might need to watch another wet distressing video or two of myself before I come back and do the next drawer. But actually, that's actually kind of pretty dang cute. It's not what I anticipated, but sometimes the surprising things that you end up with are better than what was in your mind to begin with. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. And watch me, I say I'm gonna stop right there, then I go up here to the top. Just wondering if I had not sprayed it first and was rough with it like that, what would happen? Not much. I see a little bit of the amethyst coming through, which is a brighter purple. I see a tad of the vintage duck egg, and I see a tad of the plum, but it's still not what I had anticipated. So there you go. See what we can learn. I'm going to leave it alone today, because if not, in my hurry, I pulled off some more paint. In my hurry, I may end up doing something that I don't want to do at this time. So I'm going to stop with it today. There's the lesson. The lesson for today is wet distressing is not as easy as it looks. Practice on a board or something a little bit beforehand before you do it on a piece that you worked on. And if you sand over the wet paint, it's liable to go through to one of the deeper coats. You can come in, and I'll see you all on Monday. Or I'll see you probably before Monday, but I'll be working on this again on Monday. Thanks, bye.